Well, we're back together again, and this time we are traveling to Hungary.
Well, Hungary happens to be where my dad is from, so this lineage is especially important to me. So, looking forward to trying these wines tonight.
Absolutely.
And you're Hungarian too, no?
Half.
Half Hungarian?
Yep.
Well, you're half Hungarian as well.
I am half Hungarian. The
So
other
we've
half
got-
is Polish.
We've got a whole Hungarian, but that's right. So traveling by glass to Hungary this evening. We are starting with Oddity, with the D's are backwards. It's called the Oddity. Oh my goodness. Was that 2018? I hope.
2018, yes.
Like,
Yeah,
is that
it's
a 3 or an 8?
And this is Royal Tokai.
Whoa, we've gotten to that point, D. Yes, we have. Royal Tokai Dry Ferment.
So normally we would say dry ferment is a dry wine, but Chris, you were saying that dry ferment is a grape?
Oh.
So the ferment is a type of grape. So yeah, you hear the word dry ferment, you think, oh, you fermented it all the way dry. No, it's a type of grape. So
Oh, you think for ferment. not
Yeah.
Ferment.
yeah, exactly. Thank you. Correct
I
pronunciation is key.
What are you smelling? Well, first of all, it's very
Grapefruit?
light.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
of
less
grapefruit.
strong.
Very
color
light.
than-
Almost
Yeah.
like a not even
Like a pale.
like not even like a dried straw. This is like a fresh straw. Like it's still
Yeah.
got a little green to
The color
it.
kind of reminds me of like a Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does smell for me. The smell is similar to a Sauvignon Blanc, but it's got something else in there right
Yeah,
at the end, like a
there's
little
something.
sharpness.
The flavor is very unique too. The first thing I taste on the tongue is citrus, but then the taste finish is very different.
Well, that's a punch in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
It is.
Was this like?
I'm not sure what's punching me though.
It's like I'm catching the acid, but I'm not getting a flavor of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I think for me, there's like a bitter aftertaste at the back end of the wine that I think I start tasting the fruits, and then the back end just comes in and it's really distinct. Kind of takes over.
Right.
But we have some spicy Hungarian peppers and
So these
Pickled
are pickled
vegetables?
vegetables my dad has made. Spicy with a lot of vinegar and salt,
Is that garlic in there too?
a little bit of garlic.
And we also made a homemade langos, which is a fried bread appetizer with some garlic salt on it. So that seems. I felt like that goes well with this.
The pepper, yeah, I thought so too. The pepper brings interesting flavors out in the wine.
Definitely.
I can
Definitely.
almost, it helps me taste it more.
I agree with you. I think it smooths out that bitterness in the back, and almost I'm finishing with a sweeter finish now.
So typically we think of Hungarian cuisine having
Like
some
a
spice, namely paprika. The vegetables we're tasting right now has a lot of yellow banana pepper. But a lot of Hungarian cuisines have paprika, which has its own distinct flavor,
With
which
a
is
smoky flavor.
which we'll try later. We have some smoked Hungarian sausage here with a variety of levels of either sweet or hot paprika.
It's good. So typically when we think of the Tokai, we think of the sweet dessert wine, and this is definitely not a dessert wine. It's more of a dry, finished dry.
Yeah, so
wine.
Tokai is a wine region.
Okay.
And I think as Americans, we typically get imported the sweet Tokai. So I try to make sure that we get a variety of different style of Tokai wines, so we get a better flavor of the region.
Mm-hmm.
That is like on the northeastern side of Hungary.
Correct.
So northeast of Budapest.
You even said that well. Not Budapest.
My good daughter-in-law. Right?
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, because the flavor is so mild with the acidity, I think it would definitely pair well with anything spicy.
That's true. It just cut. It
It needs spice in the food to bring out other flavors in the wine.
and also like the wine helps to calm the peppers on your
Right,
tongue.
absolutely.
I like it a lot. It brings a sweetness out in the back end instead of the bitters.
Definitely, yeah.
So
Yeah, I had a spicy carrot, and I thought the same thing.
We also have another few pairings, different types of sausages.
we have some hard salami, and then we have 2 different types of goulet.
Oh,
Goulet.
Goulet.
That's the name of this.
Is it with a G? Goulet?
Goulet.
Goulet.
So as a kid, this was probably one of my favorite smoked sausages.
Extra
See?
spicy.
Homemade from one of your
Homemade.
dad's friends made it.
Thank you, too.
Right. And your dad also
Those are
makes.
spicy.
We have a grandpa who makes
And then I'll
delicious
do a couple mild.
Hungarian smoked sausages too. That's smoky. So it's not real peppery, but it's like got that smokiness.
Mine's
It's
real
really good.
smoky. It's almost like you could feel the smoke.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I like it with the smoky.
Yeah.
I think I liked it better with the peppery
Yeah.
than the smoky.
The hot. I'm curious to see what it's going to be like with the spicy sauce.
I think with all 3 of these sausages, the red wine is going to be probably pair better. I agree, the smoked sausage is not a great pairing with white wine like it was with the pepper.
I think it looks good. That to me it brings more lemon out. There's not the bitterness in the back end, but it brings more lemon.
That's probably more of the garlic. There's probably more garlic in that. Because in Hungarian sausages, there's several main ingredients. One is pork, salt, black pepper, and garlic and paprika. So that's it as far as 5 ingredients goes. And these different sausages we have here are varying levels of all those.
I feel like this because I tried both of the spicier salami sausages go well with that. Again, it's like the spice works.
It needs the spice.
But when it's more smoky and milder, not so much. So we got 2 from the Tokai region, right? We've got this is the dry ferment, and then we also, I think we have dessert on it, right?
Late
So
harvest.
we'll try that
We have late harvest as
sweeter
well.
style.
So our next wine is a wine from the Edgar region called Bull's Blood. Pretty well known.
We found this at an import house, right? We went to Hansa Import House right by the famous West Side Market of Cleveland.
So in Cleveland, there's an import store called Hansa House in the Ohio
Ohio City neighborhood.
And they carry a lot of Eastern European wines. When I was there, I was looking at a lot of Slovakian wines, remember? And they have a good selection of German wines and also Hungarian wines. And that's where I found all these wines tonight.
Now, at one point, I don't know if it's still true. At one point, Cleveland, Ohio, had one of the largest Hungarian populations outside of Hungary.
That's correct.
Wow.
So I don't know if that's still true or not, but that's pretty impressive.
At one time, yes.
And you could tell there's at one point there was a number of different Hungarian societies and clubs throughout the area. Lots of good soccer teams.
So you and Angela are representing Hungarian soccer
Yep.
That's right.
this evening?
So any notes to think about on this one?
Through my research, Hungarian winemakers have a lot of different influences.
I'm trying to
Figure out
put
what it is.
a words to what I'm smelling.
I was thinking.
And I had a
plum.
weird-
No.
Maybe plum because I almost got a hint of Kool-Aid.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Kool-Aid.
I don't think that's on the flavor wheel.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
Like yes, like cherry Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
And I was like, what fruit is like that? I was
I
thinking
was
like
thinking
a
stone
cherry
fruit,
or
but
plum.
maybe cherries would make sense.
Yeah.
Did you know that Kool-Aid was invented by Hungarian?
Hungary
I know that.
invented
I lied.
Kool-Aid.
I lied.
The more you know.
The Rubik's Cube. I mean, there's a lot of good
Or
inventions
Rubik's Cube, yeah.
that came from Hungary.
It wasn't Kool-Aid though. I lied about that one. That's just a joke.
But the Rubik's Cube is not a joke. That was invented by a Hungarian.
So this is a blend of different grapes, but primarily it sounds like it's, and I'll kill it. It's Kirk Frankosch, which I guess is also known as the Blaufränkisch. And I don't know if it's the same as a Cab Franc or a lineage of Cab Franc, but it's definitely not as dark as the Cab Francs that I've seen.
No.
It smells more, not as bitey as a Cab Franc that I would see.
Dry. It smells fruity, but it doesn't taste fruity to
Nope.
me.
No.
I like it with the smoked sausage.
Oh yeah, smoked sausage is really good.
The last 2 wines that we've tried, food definitely brought out the flavors. So I think these are both food forward wines that I would definitely want to have with food, not necessarily.
And it'll be interesting to see how we go forward with our European wines, with our bottle by glass or travel by glass series here.
I'll go bottle. That's fine.
Travel by bottle, sure. That I think a lot of them will be paired with foods, because Europeans traditionally drink wine with food.
That's true.
And Americans don't.
Americans drink to drink, right, Chris?
I think, well,
Yes or no, right?
I think it's because like in Europe tradition, it's wine accompanies your meal more often, right? And so I think in America maybe it's like okay, maybe for a special dinner, but wine drinking I think of late has really gotten to be more about just drinking the wine and not necessarily
With a meal.
that it would be with a meal.
More socially, but not necessarily. With
Yeah, like you'll have a little bit of that something, but not, it's not like in every dinner.
I think a lot of us would want to have a good cab with a good steak.
Right.
But I think if we were just drinking, just to have a drink, we necessarily wouldn't have it with food. Whereas European culture is so much different. Whereas the meal is with the wine. So right now, it's hard to get good exported products here to the United States. So if you're listening in Europe, some more wine.
So it's funny, not only outside the country, but within the country. One of our favorite beers is from Colorado, and we're having a hard time finding it. Fat Tire.
Mm-hmm.
We can't really find it in our area. And we are.
We
then
never-
again, we are Illinois, and we do some weird
Right.
things with.
But
I was
it
thinking you were
used to be
gonna
easier to
say
find.
Coors, and we need to get a big rig. And,
Head on out.
yeah.
We need to do something the bandit style, European style. Take the big rig across seas.
They get the big rig. We get
Right.
the Camaro or whatever, Trans Am.
Fantastic.
Also,
No,
I like a
no, I'm
Camaro. I'm
sorry.
tired.
You don't
I'm
get
tired.
the Camaro. You don't get the.
Whatever.
The Firebird.
That's
It was a
sporty
Firebird,
car.
right?
Or
Yeah.
Trans
Trans Am.
Trans Am.
Was it? So when you guys can
Hey.
grow the mustache, then you can drive the car.